Recently, I replayed GTA 4, and it got me thinking about GTA 6 coming out at the end of the year. And I was thinking about what features from 4 should be in 6. And I came up with a few ideas. I think I'm going to make two separate videos talking about it, but in this one I'm going to be focusing on the combat. I forgot how good the combat in this game was, and I just wanted to make a video talking about it. Also, I streamed the entire playthrough on Twitch. If that's something you want to check out, I'm streaming Fallout 4 right now, and I might stream an older Far Cry game next. I haven't decided yet, but anyways, enough of this intro. Let's just get into the video. So we're starting with the combat because that's the thing I noticed the most, and that is definitely the thing that's on the top of my list of things I want to see in GTA 6 is just the GTA 4 gunplay in general. Now, Max Payne 3 came out a few years after GTA 4, and the combat in GTA 4 feels like an early build of Max Payne 3 almost. And if you've ever played Max Payne 3, it's the greatest third-person shooter of all time. And the reason being, at least when it comes to gunplay, is just because the gunplay is so smooth, transitioning from moving in and out of cover, shooting from cover, the slow motion, headshot kill cams, like it's just an awesome game all around. And GTA 4's combat feels pretty similar, just in terms of how you move in and out of cover, and how gunfights transpire. The only small thing about the cover system in GTA 4 I didn't like is that when you're actually in cover and you want to move from side to side, it's a little sluggish. And by that I mean you just move slower than I thought you'd be able to. I feel like if you're in a gunfight, you should move with a little bit more urgency. But in this, you kind of move slow. It's not game breaking. It's just a small thing because I actually found myself not using cover very often. I was just going in guns blazing most of the time. Also, I changed outfits because I'm adding this in post, so that's the reason I'm dressed different. Okay, back to the video. Aiming is really responsive. I mean, I was using free aim the whole time. I never use any kind of aim assist, at least in third-person games I don't. But the combat isn't just good in terms of movement, but it's also good because of the weapons and the physics themselves. I mean, the weapons in GTA 4, Max Payne 3, Red Dead Redemption 2, I think one thing all those games have in common is that their weapons just feel great. I mean, they have a lot of recoil. They're just satisfying to use, and I think a big part of that too is the sound design and the physics working together to kind of create that. In 4, every gun feels powerful. Even the starter handgun, which is like a little Glock, you know, even that one just feels like it has a ton of power because of the ragdoll physics and enemies reacting realistically to gunshots, and just the sound design of they sound powerful. Even the starter handgun or like an SMG, something that normally in other games wouldn't sound powerful, sounds powerful. Like it sounds like a hand cannon going off, which is amazing. It's awesome. I mean, if you have a shooter game and the sound design and the physics are off, it's just going to take away from the combat in general and make the game a lot less fun to play. 5 is a good example of that, I think. The sound design of the weapons in 5 and just the way weapons work, like with recoil, just isn't very satisfying. And by that, I mean weapons sound really underpowered. They just don't sound as realistic as the weapons in, you know, GTA 4 or Red Dead Redemption 2. The weapons just don't sound like they have power to them. I really don't know what happened to the sound design for weapons in 5, because you go back and play 4 and the weapons sound 1,000 times more realistic than they do in 5. It's just, it takes away from the experience. But 4's combat really nails the sound design in the physics. And in general, combat is just a little bit more unforgiving in 4. You have a lot less health, it feels like, compared to other games in the series. It makes combat a lot more unforgiving and a lot more rewarding at the same time, which is something that I'm really hoping 6 does. And I think even Rockstar knows that people like the GTA 4 combat more because in The combat in 5 is way different than it was in 4, and then I would say for Red Dead Redemption 2, it feels like the combat in Red Dead Redemption 2 is more comparable to the combat in 4 versus 5. So I think they know that people kind of like that more realistic shooting mechanics compared to 5, so I think they're going to nail that. I'm not saying it has to be hyper realistic. I'm not looking for Tarkov level realism here. It's just a little bit more engaging, a little bit more fun when combat actually has some stakes to it versus when I feel like I'm an infinite bullet sponge and that I'm invincible. It just kind of takes away from any fun you're having when there's no challenge to the game. I would still be playing GTA 5 online if the combat wasn't so boring, but unfortunately it's just not as good as previous entries in the series. And it's not as good as Red Dead Redemption 2's combat, so I would honestly just play Red Dead Redemption 2 online over 5. I also like how the enemies in 4 aren't as bullet spongy as the enemies in GTA 5. Enemies go down a lot quicker, and vice versa. I mean, you do too, but again, that just adds to the combat. It just makes it more unforgiving. You have to move slower and kind of plan what weapons you're going to use and how you're going to move through combat situations a little bit more. But something I think the series can improve on as a whole is just having more weapon variety. I mean, in every GTA game, you might get a couple different types of assault rifles, a couple different types of pistols, a couple different types of SMGs, but that's about it. I mean, you're not going to get something like a Call of Duty or Battlefield Arsenal in a GTA game. And I'm not saying you should have one. I think that would be a little overkill, but you can maybe branch out a little bit. It would be nice if you can have some more options with weapons that you can have, you know what I mean? And as far as customization goes, it would be nice if you could customize your weapon a little bit more. Take the Call of Duty Gunsmith system, for example. You could have a little bit more toned down version of that for weapons. I feel like that would be a good idea. But typically GTA games, when it comes to weapon customization, it's usually pretty straightforward. You can slap a suppressor on there, an extended mag or something, but that's about it. And maybe an optic, but it's a third-person shooter, so what do you need optics for? It would just be nice to have a little bit more variety in terms of how you can customize your weapons. I mean, if you're into guns at all, you know how prominent custom builds are. If you go on a AR-15 or an AK-47 subreddit, you can see people who build out one weapon platform in just an infinite amount of ways. I think having the ability to do something like that in a GTA game would be really cool. Even having something like Cerakoting, maybe you can put different coats of paint on certain weapon components, or just have different options with different types of triggers or compensators, suppressors, stuff like that you can drop on there. Again, it doesn't have to be crazy in depth, but it would be nice to have those options to be able to make your weapon a little bit more custom than just having kind of the vanilla versions of the ones we usually have. But until we see gameplay, it's going to be kind of hard to know what direction they're going in. But I'm hopeful that they're going to stick with a more grounded, realistic kind of shooting mechanics like GTA 4. I just imagine combat in GTA 6 is basically going to be Red Dead Redemption 2 with automatic weapons. And I wouldn't be complaining if it was that. But also, I see this echoed online a lot. I'm not the first person to think about this, definitely not. But I see a lot of people talking about how if they were to take the shooting mechanics from Max Payne 3 and then just drop them in GTA 6, that'd probably be like the best Rockstar game ever. And I definitely think it would. If you take the best third-person shooting mechanics of all time and then you throw them in a giant open world, I don't see how that could possibly go wrong. But for sure, I'm looking forward to GTA 6 coming out. I feel like most people are. I just hope the combat's a little bit more improved, but we'll see what happens. But if you've made it this far, let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you want the GTA 6 combat to be a little bit more realistic, or do you want it to be more arcadey like previous entries? And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. I'm trying to crank out more of these as much as I can. I'm still trying to kind of find my niche. If you can't tell, I'm trying to do different things. I've been doing reviews. I've been doing videos like this where I do breakdowns of specific components of the games, but I'm definitely trying different things. I do enjoy making these videos and I appreciate your guys' support, so I will see you on the next one. Peace.